the Master Grade RX-78-02 Gundam from the Origins manga, which I believe Blaze sent me two. Yes, he did. He sent me 2 copies of the Origins manga, and it is fantastic. The reimagining of the original Gundam story is delicious. I really wish they would continue the Origins series. The one started off with Char Aznable, but it would be nice to see the manga fully adapted to an anime. I think that would be perfect for the 40th anniversary of Gundam, which is going on right now. I even went out and bought a t-shirt. As you could tell, I'm swimming in pussy. This here is actually the most posable master grade I've ever dealt with, if not the most posable master grade period. I mean, the level of articulation, the joints, everything here. There's so many just options to pose this kit. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's one of the best for that reason alone. As far as master grades go, the design is fairly simplistic, straightforward even. If you notice there's like wobbling and shaking in the background, that's because I was filming this while my puppy was running like a psychopath around the entire set. So please ignore the wobbling and bobbling. As I was saying, this is a straightforward build because the original Gundam wasn't that complex. As far as master grades go, you can get this finished in like a day if you really want it. 2 tops. Hell, I've seen people do perfect grades in 2 days. Therefore, it's the perfect kit to tackle as a first timer. I will say that the hands though, very fragile. Definitely need to be careful with these. I obviously broke mine, but I can still get the knobs back in place. There's no real gimmick like the older master grade versions, like the Gundam 3.0. There's no core fighter here, which gives this mobile suit a lot more flexibility and maneuverability. It's not locked in place by a rigid inner frame. It's just probably the best master grade for anyone who wants to start out and have something look cool off the bat. Like if you can imagine it, this kit can probably do it as far as posability. But as a guy who only paints his kits and puts them inside of like a glass case, it doesn't matter that much to me. But the fact that it's there is good to know, especially if you ever get tired of one pose, you can go in there and put in a whole other pose. Frankly, I'm not good at posing kits. It's not my strong suit. You want someone to paint a kit, I'm your man. You want someone to pose them, forget it. That just isn't me, I guess. The color separation of the kit is phenomenal. That way, if you don't paint the kit, it'll still look like the Gundam. You notice that this is actually not my best paint job, and I can explain why. This is the first kit I ever painted. This is literally also my first master grade, so I'm speaking from experience by saying it's a great starter kit. It really just is user-friendly all the way. I can't think of anything I dislike about this kit, honestly. Well, maybe the like fire effects, which we'll get into later in the video. If only they came in more pieces to give the illusion of fire rather than having to airbrush them, but whatever. We've got double joints at the knees, once again, perfect for posability. Tons of movement in the ankles and feet. It comes with 3 weapons. Actually, 4 if you count the shoulder cannon. We have the new blaster. Like this one was not the original blaster in the anime. I'm guessing this is for the Origins, though I can't place my finger on if I saw it in the manga yet. Is the overall design? It's pretty badass actually. I like it a lot more than the original blaster. It also comes with 2 little handles on the side to give you even more posability. I didn't really stress that because I don't know why. Oh, I know why. I was too busy fiddling with the camera angles and everything to try and make this look cool to forget I needed to also pose it. The other thing I can say is this probably should have came with an action base for free. I mean, to really get the emphasis on how much articulation is in this kit, you need an action base. It would have been cool if they supplied one, but they didn't, which sucks. It also needs a LED light system for the head. I would suggest going third party. The third party light system's cheaper, brighter, just a better overall product than what Bandai supplies. The Bandai one has flickering issues, and if I recall correctly, I paid like $8 to $10 for this tiny little LED thing. You pay $8 to $10 for the third party ones, you get like 3 or 4. It's ridiculous. The shield is the standard Gundam shield. Nothing too special here, but it's fully capable of being used in almost any way you want. You want the classic pose where the Gundam holds the shield upright? You can. Want him holding the shield upside down? You can. The shield also holds both blasters inside of it, which is great. The shield also mounts to the back. I totally forgot about this while filming. Obviously, not the best thing, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't care to run to the other room and set up all the lights again to try. Great color separation here. There's actually no need for paint whatsoever. unless you're so inclined to do so. This kit was well thought out from top to bottom. The only problem I can say that I do have, actually, now I think about it, the shoulders. The shoulder armor sometimes falls off if you fiddle with it too much. Not a major deal breaker, but it happens too frequently when you're messing with this kit. Oh, and the foot armor, like that little skirt over the feet. I don't know what's up. I've painted 2 of these kits so far, and I'll tell you right now, they're loose. They're super duper loose. I don't know why, but they are. I've tried putting glue in there to make it a little tighter. Don't glue them together. Like, you put the glue inside, you let the glue dry, then you connect them so that way it's like a little tighter. I've also used masking tape. That seems to work the best. A little bit of masking tape on the inside, and it holds the feet skirt thingies in place. But yeah, I don't know why they're so flimsy. It doesn't make any sense. It's like so much of this kit is solid. The upper skirts on the waist, I don't know what the hell you call those things, with the yellow blocks. Those can pop off, but not too easily. But if you're not paying attention, yeah, they're liable to drop. The back area, you see the hole in the back of the Gundam where you mount the bazooka? If you use it too often, it wears down real quickly, and it'll just fall right out. So once again, for anyone who poses the kit too much, or if you're just moving it around in your display case and something hits the bazooka too many times and it falls out, over time the connection gets weaker and weaker and weaker. I will say the thrusters on the back, great design, very maneuverable, very articulated, just great. I just can't think of anything better to say. I like how much thought was put into those. A little bit of a pain to put together. Well, not too much of a pain, but it's easy to like drop apart because they're so small, and you got to be careful if you got big manly hands, because you could probably snap some plastic. Oh, I forgot to touch on the fact that this kit does allow you to either keep the shoulder cannon or switch it out with another beam saber, like the classic Gundam, for those who are complete purists. You know what I think they should have did, and this might be asking for too much these days, especially from Bandai? Why not have an effects part for the shoulder cannon? You know, there's the Vulcan cannon on the shoulder, like the lower one. There's a Gatling gun on the right side of the chest. There's like the other machine gun, I think, on the right side of the chest, a real small one. Then there's the giant cannon that flips over on the shoulder. Why wasn't there some sort of connector for that to like put it in an effects part there? That's where it really would have benefit from. Like the effects part for the little machine gun on the right shoulder, it's all right, but I would have much rather seen something for that big cannon, like it firing off a rocket or something. And the funny thing is, Robo Spirits does this sort of stuff all the time, where they add extra little effect parts, and it's nice to see Bandai did it with this kit, but they really dropped the ball by not taking it to the next level. If there's just something for that cannon, maybe even like thruster effects for the back leg, for the calf muscle thrusters, that could have been cool. Maybe sell them separately. I'd buy those. It'd be really cool to see. Jesus. Now that I think about it, I'm sitting here and in my mind, I could picture myself buying like a micro LED and mounting it in the backpack where the thrusters are, and then sticking in like a clear thruster effect, and it could really pop. But that's kind of over the top. Maybe I'll save that for a later project. Yeah, I'll do that on like a perfect grade or something. That'll really tickle people's nuts with a feather. And at this point, I'm just doing a whole bunch of glory shots because frankly, I've got a new camera lens. I don't know if you can tell. I got it specifically because of this channel and for future stuff on my main channel. And why not try and take the quality of my gunpla reviews to the next level? To make up for the fact that I don't really like fiddling with the kits. You know, I don't. Like sitting there, you see me. Listen, there's video of me fiddling with these kits, but you don't want to see the frustration. You know, everybody else is like, oh, this part came off. I'm like, Jesus, not again. Up the paint scratched. Fantastic. I gotta say that these effect parts are cool. I should have taken the time to paint this one, at least for the chest. Actually, I couldn't. That's right, this was my first kit and I didn't have that many paints at the time. So what you're seeing here is like with the minimal amount of paint and painting and airbrushing knowledge. Like this was done last August. And if you think this kit looks cool after I painted it, let that be a lesson that you can do it too. This was my first attempt at painting Gunpla, and this is how it came out. Though I'm looking at it objectively and seeing a lot of issues. Even though my thought process was to make sure the kit looked like it had been through some stuff, because the Gundam was constantly in battle during the 1 Year War. I think Amuro took out 147 enemies, including jets, mobile suits, etc. And Char only took out 40 during the 1 Year War. So that would mean that Char did a whole lot less fighting than Amuro did. Whatever. No need for pointless lore that no one really cares about, right? And some glory shots of the shield. I do like the shield. It came out real well. The separation of parts, as I said before, really well done by Bandai. The only gripe I could have with this shield is that there's no separation for the back. You see like that whole area that's like gun, metal, steel, and all those other colors? I had to paint those myself. I mean, not paintable. If Bandai had just made like a third piece that clicked on top of that was like a darker color gray or something, it would have really set off the kit, I think. But once again, I guess Bandai's got to save money. I don't know what Bandai thinks sometimes when I look at these kits. It's like there's so many other great kits they could make and they don't. And then you just get recolors. Or like the kit you really want is only like a real grade or a high grade. And you're sitting there like, why are you doing this? Or if a kit's an RE grade, ungraded, whatever, it's just like, just make it a master grade and quit jerking me around. Take my money. Oh, back on point. The bigger beam rifle next to the classic beam rifle that's already locked in place. As I stated before, the shield is really highly functional. The one problem is, though, if you put your blasters on the shield and have the Gundam hold it in anything other than a static, normal arm down pose, the weight of even one blaster, the Gundam's arm will hold it up, but then like his upper torso starts to lean with the shield. That becomes kind of a problem. And if you put it on an action base and the shield has even one blaster and he's in a certain pose, he'll lean to the left. It's just like ridiculous. Yeah, not really ridiculous. It's just weight transfer. And the way that the Gundam's frame was made, it was made for poseability and movability. So I can understand why it's not strong enough to support the weight of the blaster and the shield. Something to think about if you really care about that sort of thing. But, you know, it's a minor gripe. It's just a small thing that I could remember to point out. Overall, this is a great kit. Fantastic. I love it to bits. They even did a little bit of work on the inside where Amuro sits. There's a couple screens. You can paint those in if you want. Speaking of Amuro, here is the Amuro figure. Next to the 1/100 scale Bandai Builder tiny characters for hangar bays. The Amuro figure, surprisingly, is correct to scale in my opinion. At least about the size of a kid. Char, on the other hand, the 1/100 scale Char figure that comes with the Zaku 2.0 is actually kind of short and thin. Like real thin. Like, I don't know, maybe Bandai has changed the way they make pilot figures in recent years, but the real old pilot figures seem to be underscaled when put next to these. And that ought to do it at this point. Because frankly, I've talked long enough about something that's not too interesting to most people. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Rate, comment, subscribe, so choose to. Actually, no, I forgot. I need people to rate, comment, subscribe. Apparently, it's very important for YouTube. Engagement. That's all they care about is engagement. Doesn't matter what that engagement is, as long as they get that engagement. And if I get the engagement, they'll allow me to live. Oh, good Lord. Look at the speed of the... Look at the speed of the name ticker going by. Let me alter this. So we're going to do this right now in real time, you and me. There we go. That's a bit more palatable. The names were going by at the speed of light before. I'm pretty sure I'll have to update that later. All right, listen, I'm going to get out of here and get to work on some other stuff. Because unfortunately, I'm running like 3 channels now or 4. I don't even remember. So, adios, muchachos.